Universitas Pendidikan Muhammadiyah Unimuda Sorong merupakan salah satu perguruan tinggi swasta terbesar di wilayah Indonesia Timur. Berawal dari Sekolah Tinggi Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan STKIP Muhammadiyah Sorong, pada tahun 2018 resmi berubah bentuk menjadi Universitas Pendidikan Muhammadiyah Unimuda Sorong. Di usia mudanya, Unimuda Sorong telah terakreditasi institusi B, baik sekali dengan mencatatkan berbagai prestasi dan telah menghasilkan lulusan terbaik yang berdaya saing nasional dan internasional. Visi Unimuda Sorong menjadi universitas kelas dunia, World Class University, berbasis Tourism Planner pada tahun 2037. Di atas lahan seluas 56 hektar, saat ini memiliki 3 fakultas dan 21 program studi. Terbanyak di antara perguruan tinggi swasta di Papua dan Papua Barat. Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan, Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Humaniora. Kredibilitas yang dibangun oleh Unimuda Sorong terbukti dengan jumlah mahasiswa aktif sebanyak 3.514 mahasiswa serta terus mengalami peningkatan yang signifikan dari tahun ke tahun. Untuk menghasilkan lulusan yang unggul, kami dilengkapi sarana dan prasarana yang memadai yang didukung oleh 123 tenaga pengajar berkualifikasi nasional dan internasional. Pada tahun 2019, Unimuda Sorong yang 80% mahasiswanya merupakan orang asli Papua, berhasil meraih peringkat pertama perguruan tinggi berbasis kinerja pengabdian masyarakat di 4 provinsi di Indonesia Timur. Hal ini didapat tak lepas dari upaya menjalin kemitraan strategis baik di dalam maupun luar negeri. Unimuda Sorong juga telah dikenal dengan membina masyarakat lokal di Kampung Warmon Kokoda sebagai kampung binaan Unimuda yang juga mengantarkan Rektor Dr. Rustamaji MSI sebagai tokoh perubahan Republika tahun 2018. Meningkatnya kualitas pendidikan di Unimuda Sorong ditunjukkan oleh berbagai prestasi institusi dan mahasiswa. Sederet prestasi telah diraih baik di tingkat nasional maupun internasional. Dengan mengedepankan kualitas pendidikan dalam menjawab tantangan global, Unimuda Sorong hadir sebagai prioritas Anda dalam memilih perguruan tinggi terbaik di kawasan Indonesia Timur. Untuk itu, mari bergabung bersama kumpulan orang berjiwa dan semangat muda. Unimuda Sorong.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan selamat datang kepada Bapak Ibu tamu undangan yang kami hormati dan juga kepada seluruh peserta yang telah bergabung dalam Zoom dalam acara The Second Paris Van Java International Seminar. Seperti yang kita ketahui bahwa event ini akan dilaksanakan selama 2 hari ke depan dengan topik yang berbeda. Untuk topik hari pertama yakni Computer, Science, Engineering, and Technology. Adapun topik pada hari kedua yakni Health, Economics, Social Science, and Humanities. Opening ceremony akan kita mulai sesaat lagi dan sebagai informasi kepada seluruh peserta dimohon untuk menuliskan nama lengkap dan nama institusi dalam akun Zoom. Dan kami mohon juga kepada seluruh peserta untuk dapat mengikuti acara dari awal sampai akhir. Mengaktifkan kamera video selama acara berlangsung dan menonaktifkan mikrofon demi kelancaran acara kita pada hari ini. Sambil menunggu persiapan, terlebih dahulu saya ingin menyapa peserta yang telah bergabung hari ini. Sudah hadir dari UM Sorong, Bapak Kamaludin, selamat pagi Pak. Dan dari UNLA juga sudah ada Ibu Lisdawati. Selamat pagi Ibu. Ya, tidak bisa saya sebutkan satu persatu. Oh ya, dan cek. Ya, baik. Tadi kita sudah hadir pada hari ini, Bapak Adam. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya,
Selamat pagi, Bapak.
Pagi.
Baik, terima kasih atas kehadirannya. Acara sesaat lagi akan kita mulai. Cek, 1, 2. Oke. Baik, mengucapkan selamat pagi dan selamat datang kepada Bapak Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya yang telah memasuki ruang. Assalamualaikum, Bapak. Bapak Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sudah nyambung.
Bapak, terima kasih atas kehadirannya.
Ya, Wilujeng, Sadayana.
Wilujeng samping Bapak.
Mangga. Ini kohosnya mana aja, Bu?
Ya, Bapak.
Ini yang terlibat universitas apa aja ini kohosnya?
Oh, kohosnya dari UM Sorong, UM Palangkaraya, UM Sidoarjo, dan UM Gresik. Oh, sama satu lagi dari STTM Cilengsi, Pak.
Bentar. Sorong,
Sorong, Palangkaraya,
Palangkaraya,
UM Gresik,
Gresik,
UM Sidoarjo, dan STTM Cilengsi.
PTM Cilengsi. UM semua ini. Ya, hatur nuhun.
Iya, Bapak. Suaranya kecil, Bapak.
Itu ya. Halo, halo.
Suara Pak. Tes. Jelas.
Kedengaran, Bu?
Oh iya, jelas, Pak.
Jelas ya. Ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second Paris Panjava International Seminar on Computer Science, Engineering and Technology 2021 is about to begin. Honorable distinguished speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen, as our welcome greeting to you to provide more Indonesian flavor today's international seminar, we would like to present to you a traditional welcome dance performed by Sendra Tasik students of Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasik Malaya. Please welcome Nusantara Dance. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second Paris Panjava International Seminar on Computer Science, Engineering and Technology 2021, organized by Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya. This event also co-hosted by Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, Universitas Muhammadiyah Sorong, Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik, Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya, and Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Muhammadiyah Cilengsi. Thank you so much for investing your time with us on beautiful Tuesday morning. My name is Meiliana, and I'm your master of ceremony of this event today. Please allow me to extend our warmest greeting to our eminent guest, Excellencies today's speaker, Muhammad Adam Jerusalem, MT, PhD from Council for Higher Education, Research and Development Central Board of Muhammadiyah. Professor Dr. Chin Su Chan from National Cheng Kung University, Taiwan. Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Faisal Muhammad Ayub from University Malaysia, Terengganu. And Dr. Prantasi Harmi Cahyanti, SSI MT from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. We are also very honored to have with us here this morning the Honorable Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya, Dr. Ahmad Konit Ali Daud MA, Vice Rector of Academic Affairs, Nia Restiana M. Nurse Askap Jiwa, Vice Rector of Financial Affairs, Oni Sahroni MSc, the Chairperson of the Institute for Research and Community Services, Dr. Mujiarto STMT, and also we would like to welcome all distinguished guests and all of the presenters and participants of these seminars. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to begin the opening ceremony with the blessings, I would like to invite Dini Rahma, the students of Primary School Teacher Education, Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya, to read the Holy Quran. Time is yours.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون صدق الله العظيم.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite you to join us singing Indonesian National Anthem, Indonesia Raya, and continuing with March Muhammadiyah Sang Surya.
Bangsa yang tanah air, marilah
Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're coming to the next agenda, the welcome speech delivered by Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya. Please welcome the Honorable Dr. Ahmad Konit Ali Daud MA to deliver his welcoming speech, and afterward, we would like to request him to officially open the second Paris Panjava International Seminar on Computer Science, Engineering and Technology 2021. Time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Distinguished guests, the Vice Leader of Muhammadiyah Boards of Higher Education and Research, Mr. Adam Yerusalem, PhD, Honorable Rectors of Muhammadiyah University, UM Sorong, Muhammad University of Palangkaraya, Director of Muhammadiyah University of Gresik, Director of Muhammadiyah University of Sidoarjo, and the leader of STTM, Cilengsi Bogor. The leader of Muhammadiyah University Tasikmalaya, honorable keynote speakers, seminar participants, chairman of the committee, and all members, and all distinguished guests. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you, and all mercy, and Allah mercy and blessing. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. the only God of the universe, Creator, Arranger, who give us all facilities of the life for mankind, the Holy Book, the universe, and the mind. Salawat and greetings to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, friends, and his people until the end of time. It has been more than years. Humanity has been blessed with the COVID-19 pandemic. This is one of the ways God has given us knowledge, because with this event, humans are forced to think about finding the best solution for their life. God reminded that humans who have deep souls are always aware that all events that occur have meaning that is important for human life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called in the Quran, Rabbana ma khalaqta hadha batila. This is the speak from what they call ulul albab. Because our Lord, truly, you didn't create all this in vain. Distinguished guys, ladies and gentlemen, therefore, I would like to say that today we really feel very happy, because today and tomorrow, together with resources person who come from various parts of the world to share their thought and various innovation for a better life. First, the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, it is all the result of hard work and in-depth research. Therefore, also, we express our deep respect, high appreciation, and gratitude for the contribution of thought and willingness to be here. We welcome you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the best reward. Without your cooperation, all of these events would not have been possible. Once again, we thank you, especially to all keynote speakers, the leaders of the university involved, the leader of UMTAS, and of course, the entire community of participants. Jazakumullah khairul jaza. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excuse me, Pak Rektor, would you please open this event officially?
Thank you.
Mohon Bapak Rektor untuk bisa membuka acara ini secara resmi.
Thank you very much. We say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. officially this event, we Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you for the welcome speech for Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya. So now, the second Paris Panjava International Seminar on Computer Science, Engineering and Technology 2021 has been officially opened. And continuing to our next speech, I would like to invite Rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Sorong. Please welcome the Honorable Dr. Haji Muhammad Ali MMMH. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah wa la haula wa la quwata illa billah. Ya, mohon maaf ini dan terima kasih pada Pak Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya mewakili saya untuk yang berbahasa Inggris, saya berbahasa Indonesia dari Indonesia Timur, Pak Rektor. Jadi yang terhormat Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya yang sudah mewakili Universitas Muhammadiyah Sorong dalam bahasa Inggris, jadi saya mewakili Indonesia. Yang terhormat para pembicara, Muhammad Adam Yerusalem, MT, PhD dari Majelis Dikti Pimpinan Pusat Muhammadiyah. Saya lihat dari tadi beliau serius sekali untuk mengikuti seminar ini. Kemudian yang saya hormati Profesor Dr. Sin Hu Sen, National Cheng Hu University Taiwan. Kemudian Asop Profesor Dr. Ahmad Faisal Muhammad Ayub dari Universitas Malaysia Terengganu. Kemudian Bapak Dr. Prantasi Harmi Cahyanti MT dari Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, serta para peserta Internasional Seminar Paris Panjava 2021. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera buat kita semuanya. Semoga kita dijauhkan dari berbagai macam pandemi. Pertama-tama, marilah kita memanjatkan puji dan syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan yang Maha Pengasih, Maha Penyayang, sehingga kita pada kesempatan ini semoga seterusnya kita sehat, lahir dan batin, dan dijauhkan dari berbagai macam pandemi. Pada hari ini kita dapat berkumpul walaupun melalui Zoom, bersama-sama mengikuti acara internasional Seminar Paris Panjava tahun 2021 dengan tema Innovation for Better Life Post the COVID-19 Pandemic. Dengan tujuan utama adalah untuk mendesiminasikan dan mendiskusikan teori dan pengetahuan praktis tentang inovasi di berbagai bidang. Para hadirin yang saya hormati, pandemi COVID-19 telah memberikan gambaran atas kelangsungan dunia pendidikan, di mana dengan teknologi ini, dengan adanya pandemi COVID-19 ini ada hikmah di balik ini. Jadi bukan hanya sekedar karena dampak negatifnya, tetapi ada juga dampak positifnya. Jadi di mana ada kesusahan, di situ juga ada kemudahan. Jadi kalau tidak ada pandemi, saya kira untuk menggunakan Zoom dan seminar internasional ini kemungkinannya juga agak sulit untuk terlaksana. Karena kemungkinannya dari Universitas Muhammadiyah Sorong tidak akan sebanyak yang akan mengikuti seminar internasional. Jadi ada hikmah di balik daripada pandemi COVID-19 ini. Ya mudah-mudahan semua itu mendorong, termasuk kami dari Indonesia Timur untuk mendorong, bahkan termotivasi karena harus belajar bagaimana menggunakan teknologi. Kemudian situasi pandemi ini menjadi tantangan tersendiri bagi kreativitas setiap individu dalam menggunakan teknologi untuk mengembangkan dunia pendidikan. Selanjutnya, tantangan ini juga menjadi kesempatan bagi semua tentang bagaimana menggunakan teknologi dapat membantu membawa mahasiswa, pelajar menjadi kompeten untuk abad ke-21 ini. Walaupun dengan secanggih apapun teknologi tidak akan bisa menggantikan jika memang komunikasi langsung antara dosen dengan mahasiswa, siswa dengan gurunya tidak akan bisa menggantikan kalau ketemu langsung dengan menggunakan teknologi secanggih apapun. Oleh karena itu terasa ada yang hilang dengan adanya pandemi COVID-19 ini. Oleh karena itu kita juga tidak bisa berpangku tangan bahwa seharusnya kita dengan ujian ini kita bisa lolos dari berbagai macam ujian. Karena memang ahasiban nasu ayutraku ayyakulu amanna wa hum la yuftanun. Saya ikut tadi kepada Pak Rektor Tasikmalaya menggunakan ayat. Jadi sekali-sekali menggunakan juga ayat. Jadi kita akan diuji dengan berbagai macam ujian. Para hadirin yang saya hormati, kondisi pandemi COVID-19 juga memaksa para pemangku kebijakan di bidang pendidikan untuk dapat menyesuaikan diri dalam melaksanakan proses pembelajaran. Penyesuaian ini diwujudkan melalui kebijakan oleh Mendikbudristek melalui Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, di mana mahasiswa diberikan kesempatan untuk mendapatkan pengalaman belajar yang lebih luas dan kompetensi baru melalui beberapa kegiatan pembelajaran di luar program studinya. Sama-sama kita ketahui bersama bahwa kebijakan pemerintah dalam hal untuk mahasiswa diberikan kesempatan untuk belajar di luar program studinya, 1 semester secara internal, kemudian 2 semester di luar perguruan tinggi melalui dunia usaha dan dunia industri. Oleh karena itu adalah kebijakan baru yang harus kita mengarahkan mahasiswa kita untuk menyikapi hal yang seperti itu. Mudah-mudahan di dalam seminar ini kita menemukan ide-ide baru, inovasi baru, gagasan baru. Para hadirin yang saya hormati dan saya muliakan. Maka dari itu kondisi pembelajaran pada masa pandemi harus dapat dimanfaatkan dengan perubahan pola pikir, pola belajar, juga pola interaksi ilmiah yang lebih bermakna sehingga ketakutan dan juga termasuk kekakuan dalam menyikapi masa COVID-19 dapat dimaksimalkan dengan produktivitas yang mencirikan kebermaknaan. Perasaan fobia diminimalisir dengan optimis bahwa seluruh aktivitas tetap berlangsung dengan protokol kesehatan sebagai tantangan baru, khususnya dalam segmen penyelenggaraan pendidikan, baik pada pendidikan prasekolah hingga pendidikan di dunia perguruan tinggi. Setiap individu harus tanggap terhadap keterbatasan di masa pandemi untuk tetap produktif dalam bidangnya dan memaknai kondisi pandemi ini sebagai bagian dari perubahan yang tetap harus mengedepankan sikap dan perilaku representatif pada tantangan baru untuk menciptakan ruang belajar yang bervariasi. Pada akhirnya, kajian ini menegaskan bahwa setiap perubahan dalam sistem pembelajaran dapat mendesain kondisi baru yang memiliki distingsi dengan kondisi sebelum yang akan datang, maka setiap unsur terkait harus dapat menyesuaikan dengan perubahan tersebut untuk mewujudkan keberhasilan pembelajaran secara komprehensif. Di era pandemi COVID-19 ini, para dosen, para guru, para pencinta dunia pendidikan tentu didorong atau tertantang dengan perlunya kreasi dan inovasi baru agar kita tidak tidak terhalang dengan berbagai macam pandemi atau dengan kondisi apapun, sehingga pendidikan kita tidak tertinggal. Para hadirin yang saya hormati, dengan adanya kegiatan ini, kami harapkan dapat menjadi upaya aktif perguruan tinggi untuk mendukung Indonesia dalam menghadapi tatanan baru pelaksanaan pendidikan di era new normal ini. Selain itu, diharapkan dengan kegiatan ini dapat muncul inovasi baru, gagasan baru dalam menjawab permasalahan yang ada. Selanjutnya, kami berharap kegiatan internasional seminar ini semoga dapat memberikan masukan yang konstruktif bagi para pemangku kebijakan di Indonesia, khususnya melalui yang hadir pada seminar internasional ini. Akhir kata, selamat mengikuti Internasional Seminar Paris Panjapa 2021 yang dirangkaikan kegiatan pendukungnya. Semoga apa yang kita lakukan hari ini bermanfaat bagi kemajuan Indonesia, khususnya di dunia perguruan tinggi kita masing-masing. Selamat berdiskusi, selamat berkemajuan. Semoga kita diridai oleh Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, sehingga potensi pada seminar ini akan dituangkan. Mudah-mudahan dengan sharing ini kita menemukan gagasan baru, inovasi baru untuk membawa Indonesia lebih berkemajuan di masa yang akan datang. Selamat berdiskusi. Sekali lagi, semua kita senantiasa sehat. Salam sehat dan jauh dari berbagai macam pandemi. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Haji Muhammad Ali, for his great welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue this ceremony with prayer. Kindly invited Vice Rector of Financial Affairs, Oni Syahroni MSc. Bapak Oni, the time is yours.
Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's pray together to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala what we intend and we aspire to. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala grant us. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan yuwafi ni'mahu wa yukafi majidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yang bagi li jalali wajhikal adimi sultani. Allahumma sholli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Allahumma Rabbana taqabbal minna sholatana wa ruku'ana wa sujudana wa qu'udana wa tadarru'ana wa tahassu'ana wa ta'abbudana wa tamim taksirana ya Allah ya Rabbal alamin. Rabbana dolamna anfusana wa illam tagfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana la tu'ahidna in nasina aw ahdana. Rabbana wa la tahmil alaina isran kama hamaltahu 'alal ladina min qablina. Rabbana wa la tuhamilna ma la taqata lana bih. Wa'fu anna waghfir lana warhamna anta maulana fansurna 'alal qaumil kafirin. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da id hadaitana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Bapak Oni Syahroni, for leading our praying this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the opening ceremony of the second Paris Panjava International Seminar on Computer, Science, Engineering, and Technology 2021 was over. Now we continue to our main agenda. We come to the speaker presentation. Fortunately, today we will have 4 professional speakers and we will divide it into 2 sessions. Each session will have 2 speakers that will last 30 minutes, and after that we will have discussion session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Muhammad Adam Jerusalem, MT, PhD. I'm sure you will be familiar with this name because he's always invited to be keynote speaker in the international conference. Let me greet Mr. Adam. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, Mr. Adam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning.
All right, it's nice to see you again in this great event. Thank you for your attendance. And now, let me introduce him first. Mr. Adam is a lecturer of Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta and Vice Secretary of the Council for Higher Education Research and Development of the Central Board of Muhammadiyah. He accomplished PhD in Industrial Management from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. His research interests are about decision analysis, government industry management, industrial engineering, and creative industry. His recent publications that are published in international journal are study of young Indonesian psychological attitude and purchase intention towards slow fashion, and the usage of e-learning platform between My Guru Malaysia and Be Smart Indonesia towards perceived usefulness and behavioral intention to use among lecturers. Okay, Mr. Adam has joined us and he's ready for his presentation. And the presentation will take 30 minutes. Please welcome Muhammad Adam Jerusalem, PhD, who will deliver his presentation entitled Innovation for Better Life Post the COVID-19 Pandemic in Education. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Thank you very much for the time. The Honorable Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya, Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Sorong, also all of the co-hosts in this second Paris Van Java International Conference, ICOMSET 2021, UMSIDA Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik, Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya, and also STTM Cilengsi. The Honorable all invited speakers, our keynote speakers, and also our colleagues who, as a committee of the second PVJ Concept 2021, Dr. Mujiato and team, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I already shared the my screen. Can you see the my PowerPoint?
Yes, Mr. Adam.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I would share the topic, innovation for better life post the COVID-19 pandemic in education. Yeah, because yeah, I invited as the one of the member of the council. Yeah. Okay. First, I would like to appreciate the the second PVG, or maybe in the fourth or fifth international conference that held by UMTAS. Yeah, this is a great event that we need, yeah, as the higher education institution. Yeah. So I think this nice or great performance of the UMTAS. Yeah, they always held this agenda every year. Okay, in the beginning, I will remind you about Industrial Revolution 4.0 that have some characteristic. They are key technology that indicate the Industrial 4.0 consists of EI, artificial intelligence, and then big data, and so on, machine learning, and so on. This technology gives us some impacts on existing jobs. Based on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics 2017, we can know that some jobs get gained and also some jobs get lost. Largest jobs get gained in the trade, for example, retail and wholesale, on about 12.8%, and the largest job lost in agriculture, 55.9%. And here is some other jobs that get impact from the Industrial Revolution 4.0. McKinsey Global Institute Analysis 2017 also reports percentage of current work activities displaced by automation. In Indonesian case, the percentage is about 12%. Okay, and the probability robot and AI, artificial intelligence, will take the job in the next 20 years. One is certain. For example, telemarketer, accountant, auditor, and so on. There is some job work that will be taken by robot automation and the other technology in Industry 4.0. This is a mapping about the time when will AI outperform human at work. How many years until a machine can do our jobs better than us? For example, in the maybe less than 25 years, food, laundry, truck driver, retail salesperson will be taken by the machine. And this is also about the map of the future jobs. The map of the future jobs. In the center is about current time right now. We can see IT security consultant, compliance professional, digital marketer, but maybe in the 20 years later on, that kind of jobs will change in another job. For example, in the social media and advertising, we will have a architectural visualizer, avatar developer, professional gamer, and so on. And based on the World Economic Forum 2016, the report of the future of jobs, there are many types of job on the rise and the decline. For example, in the rise, and job on the rise, for example, architecture and engineering, computer and mathematics. And in the other hand, the type of jobs on the decline, for example, office and administration, manufacturing and production, art, and so on. So from this background, we as the council, as the university, a higher education institution should think about this. What we have to create the innovation and education so we can prepare our students, yeah, in the future then when they face the very different era with us right now. Okay, this is the mapping of the future of the education. This change point the way toward a diverse learning ecosystem in which learning adapt to each child instead of each child trying to adapt to school. Yeah. And there are many different things that in the future, and the characteristic of the future of the education. For example, companies accept diverse form of the credential and certificate. Work requirement will change so rapidly that continuous career readiness become the norm. School will take many forms, sometimes self-organized. Learning will no longer be determined by time and space. Learner will create individual learning playlists. And now we still in the pandemic COVID-19. Yeah. So some lessons for education we can earn, we can take from this situation. I cite from the OECD lesson for education from COVID-19. Yeah, OECD is an organization for economic cooperation and development. Yeah, this organization give us some information about the lesson from education from COVID-19. I will share it in brief. The COVID-19 pandemic has shaken long accepted belief about education, showing that learning can occur everywhere at any time, and that education system are not too heavy to move. Lesson for education from COVID-19 surveyed in May 2020, only around 1/5 of OECD education system aim to reinstate the site to school. Policymaker, yeah, include us as the management, as the leader at the Muhammadiyah University, other university as well, must therefore maintain the momentum of collective emergency action to drive education into new and better normal. Yeah. By September 2020, the majority of participating education system had returned primary and secondary education to on-site delivery. Yeah. So from here we can know most of the primary and secondary education back to on-site delivery. That's dominant. On the other hand, yeah, post-secondary education and also higher education relied mainly on hybrid delivery model. Hybrid mainly in virtual, 6, hybrid balance, 5, hybrid mainly on-site, 13, on-site, 3, and on-site no constraint, 5. So we can think later after the pandemic, what happened in our education system. Yeah, because COVID boosts the online uh, online or digital learning rapidly. Okay, this is some situation across the country. For example, in France, in October, France announced that all higher institution and upper secondary school must switch to fully remote instruction, with exception for essential practical training only, and then only at half the usual student capacity. So this is the uh, policy in France to handle the COVID-19 situation. In another country, for example, British Columbia, Canada, with rising infection rate, by November, although British Columbia maintained on-site learning for all students, a new grouping system where cluster of student and staff, 20 to 30 students, will primarily interact with one another, was introduced for remainder of 2020. Another country, for example, at Wales, in October, Wales announced a 2-week 5-week lockdown, in which following 1 week of school holidays, only learners in primary, and lower secondary education would return to on-site learning with distance provision for all the students. Okay, so this and other experiences provide us with valuable insight on which to build a better condition. Yeah, first, learning is a relational social process. Effective learning is more about relationship and mindsets than it is about physical spaces or instruments. Identifying how effective student learning process and interaction can take place in context of disruption, and nurturing them with the right support is therefore the key priority for government. Second, education systems are not too heavy to move. Competing interests and a substantial lag time between the initial cost of education reform and any benefit that may materialize can make education reform difficult. But COVID-19 transformed approach to learning sometime overnight, and the world learning that big change can happen quickly, very fast, even in education. But deep global disruption emphasizes the need for greater resilience. The pandemic has brought resilience and preparedness to the forefront of public consciousness. Only resilient education system that plan for disruption and withstand adverse event will fulfill the fundamental human right to education in any circumstance and foster the level of human capital successful economic required. So from the COVID-19, we can take some lessons here. Lesson 1, first lessons, education actors should nurture resilient mindsets that value people and processes over classroom and devices. Second, educator needs new skills and new knowledge to capitalize on new education priorities and means of delivery. And the third, addressing learning gaps now will minimize disruption in student education journey. Okay, I will discuss it one by one. The first lesson, education actors should naturally align mindset that value people and process over classroom and device. As a period of widespread innovation, the current moment offers an opportunity to build greater flexibility and resilience into the fundamental organizing principle of education. How can government capitalize on this opportunity, harnessing new ways of organizing teaching and learning to make education more responsive to the needs of all students and in all contexts. So, level guidelines indicate that countries are already shifting practices in key relation policy areas. They are for three areas: valuing people and process, strengthening education skill and knowledge, addressing students learning losses, and increasing gaps. In the addressing students, there are some new paradigm: student well-being, student assessment approaches, recovering and mitigation learning losses, and in the valuing people and process, there are partnerships with parents, employers, and community. And in between, strengthening educator skills and addressing students, they are personalized and flexible learning. Also, in the strengthening needs support for educator and also system capacity for digital education. In 2020, there have been some promising policy effort that put greater emphasis of people and process. Example, in the Korea introduced intensive learning system in vocational education to allow students to organize their own academic timetable, having them to complete courses in a shorter time frame with a theoretical element online and practical element in person. Another example, Japan, to the human resource bank for supporting school and children, depending on regional infection rates. School will be assigned support staff to help with lesson preparation, parental communication, health management. Additional classroom support instructor will be recruited from the national pool of retired teachers, primary school teachers, university students, and other education related staff. And for example, in Germany, at the school level, Germany has recommended that state authorities conduct screening and evaluation of existing software and digital learning material according to uniform research-based criteria. But some important related challenges remain, at least at three items. In the better normal decision about the mode of educational delivery need to be proactive, not reactive, and truly hybrid based on knowledge of pedagogical value. New delivery modes place extra demand on educators. Education system must offer concrete measures to protect educator well-being, support for FED vocational education and training providers and higher education institution rarely goes beyond logistic methods. Yet students progressing to or already in higher education and faith may be among the most affected by this crisis, COVID-19. From the lesson one, we as the policymaker, management, and leader of the university can follow the policy pointer for future relation action. Nurture resilient mindset that value people and processes. We have three items here. Commit to embracing the relation nature of learning now and in the future, building capacity across the system to thrive in context of disruption and change. Third, create opportunity for learners to shape their own educational journey to a shared vision. We come to the second lesson from the COVID-19 for education. That is, educators need new skills and new knowledge to capitalize on new education priorities and means of delivery. Throughout COVID-19, education system have relied on educators to be guarantors of students' education. Yet, crisis demands on the profession also endure. How can government support educators to develop an ever broader and more complex set of skills in students while continuously updating their own competencies? Yeah, international evidence and policy analysis from the COVID period offer useful insight. Key policy component for professional learning, there are 4 items: contact focus, in active learning and collaboration, sustained duration, school embed, while the policy levers for responsiveness and resilience, educator well-being, collaboration, professional learning, and leadership on learning. Impactful policy from the pre-crisis period can inform us the new effort to support educators. For example, in Finland developed a new of digital tutor teacher for basic education. The role is carried out by a teacher who embrace new pedagogies and promotes the digitalization of teaching. Action may include organizing training, conducting competence survey, providing teaching guidance, or networking with peers. The initial plan committed to having 2,500 tutor teachers in school, yeah, and so on. For example, in New Zealand promote communities of learning. It aims to strengthen school quality through bringing setting at different level of the system together to establish a clearer learner pathway. 3 new roles have been introduced: community leader, across community of learning teacher, and within school teacher, working across and within the community to support and share effective practice. in the context of COVID-19 pandemic, there have also been some promising policy effort to better support educators. For example, in Korea established an online community of 1,000 representative teacher, one from almost every school in the country, to promote the sharing of good practice in online education. It is great. And to give advice to help address any issues college encounter. The community provide a real-time interaction communication channel among 17 provincial offices of education, uh, uh, 1,000 representative teacher nationwide, and other relevant institutions, including the Ministry of Education. Another example, for example, France, all mobile France all mobilized in higher education. Yeah. Campaign seeks to promote initiative set up higher education both during lockdown and for the new academic year. Yeah. And but some important related challenges remains. Rather than trying to cover a teacher at all level, it may be more impactful to design tailored professional learning programs with staff from a specific educational level in mind. Scaling up delivery has also been challenging, with many systems questioning the long-term sustainability and durability of this program. COVID-19 policies analyzed, very few of the policy implemented during the crisis are currently planned for sustained duration after the pandemic. Okay, so the policymakers can follow three policy pointers for the future related action. Educators need new skills and knowledge to capitalize on new priorities. First, position educators to become the driver their own learning, provide educators with tools that are responsive to their specific needs and context. Third, foster collaborative relationship among educators for triple impact. The third lesson is about addressing learning gap now will minimize disruption in student education journey. COVID-19 crisis has disproportionately affected the most vulnerable learners. How can government best tackle the dual task of recovering learning losses and inequalities whilst driving education into a better normal where all students are able to thrive, irrespective of their circumstances? Yeah. Impactful policy from the pre-crisis period can inform new effort to address learning gaps. For example, Australia, the higher education the higher education participation and partnership programs provides funding to assist universities to take activities and implement strategies that improve access to undergraduate courses for students from low socioeconomic background and improve their retention and completion rates. Partnerships are created with primary and secondary school, FED institutions, universities, and other stakeholders. Funding is provided based on the number of enrolled target students. Yeah, maybe another, for example, from Germany, Education Alliance have supported out of school program in Germany for educationally disadvantaged children and teenagers. The initiative aimed to give 2.5 million children the opportunity to participate in activities such as school excursions, sports, music, cultural activities to boost motivation and sense of belonging. In context of the COVID-19 pandemic, there have also been some promising policy efforts to address learning gaps. For example, in England, the government has committed 1 billion pounds sterling to fund education catch-up initiative. This includes one of universal catch-up premium for 2020-2024, providing school with extra 80 pounds sterling per student to ensure that they have sufficient resource to support learning recovery. Portugal, for example, our school in Portugal must develop an action plan for recovery and consolidation of learning to guide teaching and learning. Chile has introduced a curricular prioritization for school to identify the education objective considered essential for learning. But some important related challenges remain from the third lesson. There is a need for coherent complementary action as well as sustained effort over a longer period. Related challenge found in several policies is the need to estimate more carefully the need or deemed and consequently better assign necessary resources, especially in terms of time. COVID-19 policy lies intention to engage parents in initiative to address larger gaps were less clearly set out. So from the COVID-19, we can learn or get the lesson for education. In the third part, addressing learning gaps now will minimize disruption, consists of act now to reduce learning gap and commit for the long term, embrace holistic, flexible interventions that enhance the multiple worth of the learner, rating and embed evaluation and assessment component to maximize impact. So based on the two background from the impact of Industrial Revolution 4.0 and the lesson for education from COVID-19, we do have expectation to PTM. PTM is Muhammadiyah Higher Education, PTMA, Muhammadiyah Asia Higher Education. So, Muhammadiyah Asia Higher Education must be innovative in various fields of education, in teaching, in research, community service, especially in the field of ICT, because right now is the digital era as a consequence of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Muhammadiyah Asia Higher Education have to mastery and implement key technology of Industrial Revolution 4.0 to manage university higher education more modern, more efficient, and more effective, and developing an innovative education ecosystem to handle impact of Industrial Revolution 4.0 and also COVID-19 pandemic. I think that's all. That is the expectation or hope from the council to all Muhammadiyah Higher Education, Muhammadiyah Higher Education. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Lo, nyanyi maga. Oh iya. Lareta. Lo cuci tangan dulu tadi maga. Cuci tangan.
Check. All right, thank you, Mr. Adam. What an excellent presentation about innovation for better life post the COVID-19 pandemic. As we know that this pandemic has changed education system, and Mr. Adam provide us some lesson that we can learn from this. If you are interested with this topic and may have any questions about it, you may share your ideas or put your questions into the chat box by writing your name first, your institution, and state to which speakers you address your question. Then I'll bring them up in the discussion session. So, Mr. Adam, I need your permission to continue the program to the next speaker. Is it all right for you to wait until the discussion session?
Okay, but I don't know. Because maybe in the few minutes later, about 9:45, council have the another agenda. We invite some Muhammadiyah universities to discuss about the new student recruitment of the new student, and I have to lead that meeting. So maybe I cannot join until the end of this session. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's all right, Mr. Adam.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Maybe I will non-active in this Zoom, perhaps, and I will lead another meeting in another Zoom. So yeah, if I can cut the question, maybe I will respond, but I don't know if I missed the question. So sorry about it.
All right, Mr. Adam. It's okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Adam. Have a nice day. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice day.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Professor Dr. Chin Su-chan from National Cheng Kung University, Taiwan.
Ya,
All
saya
right.
juga mohon izin.
Without
MC,
further
saya mohon
ado,
izin. Ya. Mohon izin MC, saya juga pamit dulu. Ada kegiatan lain.
oh iya,
Nanti
tidak apa-apa.
Ya, makasih.
Ya.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih atas kehadirannya, Bapak. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm honored to invite His Excellency Professor Dr. Chin Su-chan to deliver his presentation entitled Three Design Discipline Within a Conceptual Design Thinking. Time is yours, bro.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to share my laboratory work on the second Paris Pan-Java International Seminar. My name is Chen Su-chen. Currently, I am the professor of Industrial Design Department of National Cheng Kung University in Taiwan. National Cheng Kung University is located at southern Taiwan, and my university was established in 1931. NCKU is the abbreviation for it. Today, I am going to present the topic is three design disciplines within a conceptual design thinking. As we know, designers create product or service to satisfy customer needs and improve daily living conditions through a creation process. Conceptual design is essentially a creation process on early stage of design. In this talk, I would like to explore the three design disciplines from product design, interaction design, and the service design perspective into the conceptual design process to promote creativity. We would like to create a processing of thinking to extend designer creativity as an extension of their design work. To better understanding the creativity and the create process, the Internet of Things, or called the IoT, design is used to demonstrate this idea. Before I start to talk today's topic, I would like to introduce Tainan City and my university first. NCKU is located at Tainan City in the southern Taiwan. Tainan is the first city of Taiwan built by Dutch people. If you take high-speed train to Taipei, the capital city of Taiwan, it needs 100 minutes to arrive, less than the 2 hours. Here are some photos of the NCKU campus. In upper right side photo, there are banyan tree and the Guangfu campus of NCKU. The banyan trees of NCKU have been a symbol of Tainan. During graduation times comes around, there are always lots of students here taking the photo. Our school was established in 1931, and this year we are going to celebrate her 90th birthday. Here is some statistics of our university. We have 11 campuses, and the size of our university is 190 hectares, with more than 20,000 students and 1,300 faculty. We have 375 researchers and roughly 2,000 staff. And the most important asset of our school is the 140,000 alumni. There are 9 colleges in our university, and we offer more than 200 degrees. Some of our research domains are ranked top 100 in the world, and the industry income of our university has been ranked in top 110% by the THE World Ranking. It indicates the strong industry-academia collaboration capability in NCKU. Let's start to talk about design thinking. What is the design thinking? The design thinking is not asking the people to thinking the design or to be a designer, but it is trying to ask the people to have the designer mindset. So therefore, we would like to ask, what does the meaning of designer mindset? The designer mindset can be referred to designer cognitive activity during the process of the designing. So we can say design thinking is a kind of the method and the process to investigate ill-defined problem. We all know the ill-defined problem are those that do not have clear goal, solution path, or expected solution. Therefore, we can say design thinking is a style of thinking. It means that you need to have ability to combine the empathy for the context of the problem, creativity to generate the insight and solution, and the rationality to analyze and fit the solution to the context. So we say design thinking is a kind of the mindset. It demands practice, and the design thinking encourages the creation of new opportunity. It means that finding the problem is not the problem, but it gives you the opportunity to create the new value from solving the problem. Empathy is the ability to feel and understanding another people's emotion and thought. In terms of the design activity, we call the human-centered design. In Mandarin's word, just the Chinese word, we use the 以人为本 this term. Next slide, I will give you some examples to show this kind of the mindset will provide a different designed outcome. In this example, just in the 2004, Physics Design was asked to improve the pediatric CT scanning experience for children, since a typical examination room is cluttered with clinical equipment and easily feel terrible to small children. Children need to lie still and hold their breath during the procedure to ensure optimal image quality. This is difficult for many sick children who are likely to be in pain, restless, and upset. The problem is children usually will move their body inside the CT scanning machine. Therefore, the image quality is not good. What will you do to solve this kind of problem?
Ya teman Jakarta pas
Let's
nagganjil
define the concept of the human-centered design approach.
nyaho aing mah itu sama tante lagi. Ay,
Improve the children
tapi mobilnya Pajero.
toy CT scanner is designed. Children can choose a toy and press it into the scanner. They can see an animation story to help them understand the procedure in an entertaining way. If the toy is shaken in the scanner, the image will distort and unclear. So children know they must lie still to get a good image. In this example, the design solution is not trying to redesign the CT scanning machine, but design a new kind of the procedure to let children understanding how important to lie still inside the CT scanning machine. And also in this example, we can learn that empathy is not only for designer to understanding the user, but also can help user to understanding the context of the problem. This is another example. I would like to share what is empathy mindset from different perspectives. There is a single apartment for the elderly in somewhere of the America. During the winter season, the apartment gas or called heating system will be open when temperature below 0 degrees. However, the switch of the gas is on the first floor inside the apartment management room. Therefore, elderly need slowly walk downstairs to manager room and look at thermometer point close to 0 degree. Then they ask manager to open the heating system. If you are the designer and observe this kind of the situation, what will you do? Are you going to install a temperature sensor to automatically open the heating system? Maybe you will do that. But from the social science viewpoint, maybe they will bitter against to install the sensor. They will say it is good for elderly to walk downstairs for healthy reason, and those elderly people can have the social interaction when they arrive the management room during waiting the thermometer point below to 0 degree. So understanding the user is very important for doing the design thinking practice. You can use the empathy map canvas to help you to record your observation of the user. Next, I would like to talk the three design disciplines with different scale of the design termed product design, interaction design, and the service design perspective into the conceptual design process to promote creativity. Usually the product design is just trying to create new kind of product or the redesign existing product. And interaction design, we can say you are trying to facilitating interaction between the human through the product and the service. And service design is kind of activity of the planning and the organizing people, infrastructure, communication, and the material component of a service. And the purpose is try to improve its quality and the interaction between the service provider and the customer. Next, I will give you some of the example of them. For the product design example, please allow me to show our student work for you. This is the project is called Nursing Kit. This design work got the IDEA Golden Award in student group. The IDEA is called the International Design Excellence Award, was recognizing design excellence in product design around the world. The concept of the nursing kit is a kind of first aid. Usually, it is not common in the typical Taiwanese family. Therefore, redesigning the first aid kit, considering the placement, functionality, affinity, and the form is our goal. Nursing kit is a new generation of family first aid kits and blends into its surrounding furniture and be a part of your daily life. Its universal design components include the curvy scissors, tweezer clip, and the medicine cap. Tweezer clip can seal the bag when reversing it. And on the tweezer clip, the web service of the tweezer clip can increase the friction when you use it to seal the bag. The curved handle of the curvy scissors can help the user easily take it from the desk. And inside the nursing kit, there is a graphic interior design to guiding the user how to use it. And this is a photo of the making the final working model. And during the emerging situation, the nursing kit also can turn into an emergency light or a flashlight. For the intention design example, I would like to show the project called Hyper Window. The project was done in 2008. The purpose of this project is going to provide the family social connection with awareness system if they are not living together and are living far away to each other. We did some interview with people and tried to explore how people communicate with their intimate social in home environment. We proposed the virtually living together idea for this kind of project. In this project, we follow the user research, ideation, finding feasible technology, and prototyping procedure. And we use the window list termed for design metaphor. Since when you open the window, it means you would like to watch and communicate with outside. If you close it, it means don't bother you. There is a camera to capture the live stream video at two sides, just the local side and the remote side, and sending the blurred video image to each other for privacy consideration. Therefore, if two sides of window are both closed, the blurred video image is displayed. If both sides of window are open, the video image will be clear to offer the communication of two side people. And we did the prototyping of the hyper window inside the window frame There are 4 infrared sensors to detect the window open or closed status. After the prototyping, we conduct user testing to refine our design project. User testing is a good way to refine your design work. In this project, some participants gave us very interesting opinions, like where to put the device at home, and they provide some weather information on it. Regarding about the service design, the good example of the service design, we usually mention the Apple company. The iPod and the iTunes will provide a new kind of service and change the world of the music downloading and the way people listening to music. I will not address this issue. Next, I will move to IoT part. IoT is abbreviation for Internet of Things. It means that the everyday physical object with sensor can connect into the internet, and they can communicate to each other, forming the networking and generate an ecosystem application. Therefore, I try to ask myself, is it possible we can apply for 3 design disciplines, just the product design, intention design, and service design within the conceptual design thinking, and try to mapping the Internet of Things design issue. Here, we find the mapping connection between these 3 design disciplines and the IoT design issue. In this slide, you can see for the everyday object, or called the sensor, is mapping connection to product design, and communicating between objects, just we call the network, is mapping connection to interaction design, and the ecosystem, or we call the application, can mapping to service design. Next, I will give you the example to show the mapping connection, how to work for conceptual design. If you are going to design a garbage bin, we can try to add sensor into garbage bin, and every garbage bin in the city can connect to each other, and sending the garbage bin full signal to municipal government, such that government can assign the quantity of the garbage truck and planning the route. This is an example we are trying to demonstrate the 3 disciplines of the design and the IoT design issue. Try to connect them together to provide a kind of conceptual design thinking. Finally, I would like to quote the Stephen Jobs said, "Seeing the connection can enhance our creativity." So we can say, designer does not try to design, but find the relationship and the connection. We find the relationship between the 3 design disciplines and the IoT design issue. Thanks for your listening. And if you have any comment or question, please send me an email.
Thank you very much, Professor Chen, for your inspiring presentation about 3 design discipline within a conceptual design. What an So now actually we should have a discussion session, but I need your apologize that Mr. Adam and Professor Chan cannot attend this event till the end of session because they have another agenda. But don't worry, if you have something to share or ask question, I'll deliver your question to them and answer it by sending you an email. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Moving on to the next session, we'll also have two speakers at this time. We have Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Faisal Muhammad Ayub from University Malaysia Terengganu. I believe he's online with us. Good morning, Dr. Faisal. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. How are you?
I'm good. How is it going, Dr. Ahmad Faisal?
Good. Very good here. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. All right. And I'm pleased to introduce him first. Dr. Faisal obtained his PhD in mechanical engineering from the University of New South Wales at Australian Defence Force Academy in 2011. His focus area is hull performance design, specifically high-speed boat. Other than hull design, Dr. Faisal is also focusing on software hardware development, specifically ship simulators with the marine engineering and marine industry. He has published technical manuscripts in journals, conferences, and chapters in books. Subjects taught by Dr. Faisal are engineering dynamics and marine engineering design. He served as an executive committee member for IEEE Ocean Engineering Society, Malaysia. His international collaborators include Department of Mechanical Engineering, Shizuoka University, Ocean University of China, and University of New South Wales, Australia. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Faisal Muhammad Ayub, who will deliver the topic about development of autonomous vehicle controller via neuroevolutionary methods. All right, Dr. Faisal, you have 30 minutes for presentation. Time is yours.
Oh, okay, thank you. Let me try to share the screen. Okay, so Ibu, can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see it clearly.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, let me start the presentation. Thank you so much for the conference organizer for reading the biography. This is very extensive. Thank you so much. Let me introduce you to the title. The title here is Neuroevolutionary Based Autonomous Hydrographic Surveying Boats. So as you can see at the front, I would like to iterate that safe, accurate, and predictable autonomous system in marine vehicles are very important. And understanding of intelligent system fitted inside a ship is critical to ensure that the autonomous ship is safe to be operated. Although the use of artificial intelligence in the design of road-based vehicle has arrived to the self-driving level, there exists a significant gap within the research of autonomous ship to operate in restricted waters, for example, a river and also ports. So in this talk, we shall look into the insights of simulation design of autonomous ship. I will present a simple illustrative framework as a starting point for a ship designer to begin working in a simulated environment, which can be used as a foundation before physical autonomous ships are constructed and tested in real-world situations. The state-of-the-art simulation environment nowadays consists of virtual 3D environment. This virtual environment can represent river, terrain, surface vehicle with distance sensor. This surface vehicle shall be controlled by neuroevolution-based autonomous piloting system. And you will ask, what is neuroevolution? So in the simplest term or simplest definition, neuroevolution is the artificial neural network plus evolutionary algorithm. The work of neuroevolution typically called CNE or conventional neuroevolution, which use single population approach to arrive to the final weight and bias of the artificial neural network. In this work, two case studies will be presented. First, navigation in restricted waters, which is river, and also the second one is the obstacle avoidance capability of an autonomous ship. We are going to show that the results of the autonomous space vehicle is also capable for performing obstacle avoidance in test track, although it's not being trained to do so in the training track. So training track is a simple training, but for testing, we're going to put lots of obstacles. The work demonstrated in this presentation is useful to the ship designers and can be extended for scenario-based planning for autonomous ship design. So you can put lots of scenario to see whether the ship is going to perform well or not. For example, obstacle in emergency and so on. Before I go further, I would like to introduce you to University Malaysia Terengganu. So this is where I work. University Malaysia Terengganu is a university that focuses on marine research and also marine education, although we are very comprehensive. We have engineering, software engineering, we have ship design, we have accountancy, and we host a lot of S3 PhD students from Indonesia. So we are very happy for you to be here. We are ranked in number 195 in Asian University ranking. Recently, we just went to the THE and we get the rank 1000 plus throughout the world. So which is a good start for the first timer like us. So welcome all of you to University Malaysia Terengganu. All right, so in the fundamental ways, we like to say that autonomous boat or autonomous surface vehicle is a subclass of mobile robot. Conceptually, a mobile robot consists of control system, sensors like distance sensors, light sensors, vision sensor, and actuators like motors and also servos or engines to respond to its surrounding. An autonomous surface robot can sense it in surrounding and act upon the surrounding based on its mission definition. In the field of maritime technology, there are vast potential use cases for autonomous surface vehicle robots. While the primary mission of an autonomous surface vehicle can vary, for example, reconnaissance, patrol mission, intercept, pirates, interception, and also environmental monitoring, several common themes constitute as the subtask of autonomous surface vehicles, such as maneuvering, cruise control, like in cars, and also collision avoidance. So here we can see autonomous control of a surface vehicle or a boat is designed in this work where an agent demonstrates river navigation while avoiding obstacles in a dynamic environment using artificial neural network, as shown in the figure here. So this is the whole framework that I'm introducing. The desirable steering and throttle control are achieved using artificial neural network in which the weight and also the biases are found using unsupervised machine learning method. The unsupervised machine learning method used in this work is reinforcement learning. I think lots of practitioners are familiar with this word, which is an agent is rewarded based on the attainment of accumulated checkpoints in the simulation run. So that's the objective function, which is to maximize the number of checkpoints. This can be achieved using generative algorithm in which for every simulation run, the best design shall be retained or kept to evolve in the search of the best design until the arbitrary generation is achieved. So let's go into the literature review. Here I put here the comparison between literatures in autonomous cars versus autonomous ship. So we see here neuroevolutionary based work in the literature concerning ship steering or piloting is remain lacking. So there are not many papers that discuss about autonomous ship compared to the autonomous car. This is probably due to the high volume of production of cars compared to the ship within the consumer markets. Based on the keyword search, we use Elsevier Science Direct on research and review articles of autonomous cars versus autonomous ship. We can see 50% differences in terms of volume of literatures. So if you are keen to do research on autonomous ship, so probably this is a very good topic that you can conduct. Such prelim research has demonstrated considerable research gap within this discipline and requires attention as we are moving into industrial 4.0. So the literature review can be divided into several topics. For example, if you are doing research on in autonomous vehicles, there are going to be topics for motion studies. There are going to be topics on visual perception, and there are topics for collision avoidance. So the motion studies, the visual perception are typical in any design for autonomous vehicle for ship. Autonomous vehicles for cars and also ship. But one thing that unique for ship is the collision avoidance that is being governed by international regulation of preventing collision at sea. So this is COLREX, and COLREX is being compiled and updated by International Maritime Organization. So this is very challenging, and the research are still keep on being conducted. So and very popular nowadays because nowadays people are trying to use robots for autonomous work. People cannot go and meet everyone because of the pandemic. So the reliance to robots and also autonomous vehicles is very important nowadays. Okay, so in the next section, which is this section, we are going to discuss about the methods on how to achieve this. The methodology for neuroevolutionary based ship steering control shall be presented. The basic concept of genetic algorithm shall be discussed. And then I will discuss the description of agents, which is the autonomous surface vehicle. And finally, I shall describe both the training track and also the testing track incorporated in this work. Here we can see that there are two figures here. The first one is the generic algorithm, okay, the algorithm that typically being used. And the second one is the artificial neural network. So we see that artificial neural network is considered as an individual in a population generated by evolutionary algorithm, such as genetic algorithm. Each ANN can vary in terms of its structure or its weight and biases, which are incorporated into each agent within an environment. In this work, since we are using conventional neuroevolution, we are going to use a fixed structure ANN using genetic algorithm. So the environment is utilized as a platform to investigate the response of the agent, and that can be set up in two ways, whether using physical environments or virtual simulation. So physical environment, if you put ANN into a car and you are going to test it, you are going to crash lots of cars. So this is not feasible. So the best way to conduct neuroevolutionary autonomous vehicle is to use simulation environment. So the response of the agents or the cars or the ship is the distance of the potential collision, the velocity of the agents, the hydrostatic performance, okay, or hydrodynamic performance, distance to target, current position can be used as an input. So, and then the input will be fed into the objective function, okay, variables and constraint to the EA. So this will going to assist us to find the next generation of the population. So on the left side is the pseudocode of the conventional neuroevolution case study for this particular talk. So in this study, the structure of ANN is on the right side. So we see there is 10 inputs. Okay, we have 9 distance sensors to be incorporated on the ship, and we have 1 velocity input. So we have a ship. The ship only know distance between collision, and also the ship will going to know its current velocity. And then when we feed this into the artificial neural network, the artificial neural network need to decide what is the throttle and what is the steering angle that need to be taken. So initial set of weight and biases will be generated, and then we are going to use the inputs of the neurons and feed it to the agent and see whether it's going to maximize the number of checkpoints, which is the rewards. And then it will pilot itself in a challenging test track. So we are not doing any if-else statement because we are going to put end-to-end artificial neural network. So this is hands-free. So we ask the ship to learn itself how to maneuver inside a river. The following generations shall continue where the offspring are generated from the best agent previously until the stopping criteria is achieved. So this is going to be a very highly nonlinear constraint optimization. So we have objective function, which is to maximize the number of checkpoints given the input, which is the sensor reading and also the velocity reading. And the output will be the throttle and also the throttle percentage and also the rudder or the steering input. And the constraint is very easy. We want to discard a design that hits the obstacle or design that hits the riverbank. So if you are hitting something, you are going to die. So we simply discard that model. So the fitness shall be recorded for further evaluation of the generation run. So this is the description of the agent. So an autonomous surface vehicle or autonomous boat is a subclassification of autonomous mobile robot, which operates on water surface. In this work, we have modeled the ASV using typical dimension of working class hydrographic surveying ASV available in the market. And we're going to be detailed in the later slides. So we have 9 distance sensor, which the interval of 20 degree located from the perpendicular to the port side of to the starboard, shown in the figure. And we are going to use mesh-based physics modeling codes to model the boat buoyancy and also the hydrodynamic force. It's going to be very fast because we are going to use C# programming. So the ASV shall rely only on the input gathered from the distance sensor and its velocity to decide what is the throttle and also to decide what is the steering. So here is the dimension of the ship. So the length is 2.4 meters. The width is 1 meter. The draft is 0.3 meter. Almost half ton, can operate for 7 knots. And also have 9 distance sensors. So this is typical working class hydrographic survey vessel available in the market, so that we are simulating today. And this is the training track. So we are going to have artificial neural network. So we are going to train the AI using a training track, which is quite an easy track. We have 100% throttle area. We give the opportunity for the ship to hit 100% throttle. And then we are going to give a challenge here, which is 4 sharp U-turns here. And also we have 1 sharp 90-degree corner. So the width of the riverbank is 10 meter, the width of the riverbank. And also the dimension of the training track is 60 meter width and 100 meter length. And this is the testing track. So the testing track is a restricted water environment, still in the river. It's much wider, so it's going to be quite challenging because you need to decide where is the, by itself, where is the reference point. And it has lots of collision potential here. It has weather buoy here, the one that color red and also green. It has a boat here. So see whether the model we're going to hit the boat or not. Here we have 3 straight cruises, 6 sharp U-turns, 2 sharp 90-degree corner. The width is larger, 20 meters, and the dimension of the training track is 130 meters and 140 meters length. So let's look at the results. See whether our model is able to drive itself without human intervention. So based on the results that we can see here, the autonomous maneuver has been performed within the training track. If you can see on the left side, it can be observed that the robot is able to negotiate turns successfully using the convolutional neural network with the maneuvering characteristic. Here we see that there are 3 sharp corners at the top on the northeast. So we highlight here, and it seems like the ASV is able to maneuver well. And here we see on the left side is the responses. Here is the throttle response, and this is the velocity response of the ship. Okay, so it can be observed that the rudder tends to turn right to follow the U-turn curve of the track. So we can see here the same pattern can be observed in the zone 3, while the ship is tend to comply with the left U-turn. So we can see that the throttle and velocity spikes ups and down significantly each time an aggressive maneuver is being executed. So we can see that this is a typical response of the autonomous surface vehicle. So it has a tendency to be very, very careful, very, very sensitive to curves. So this is something that we need to discuss, because if it's very sensitive, it's going to be not comfortable for humans. So let's look at, so we see that here the training track is successfully done. So we're going to take the same ship and put it into the test track. The test track is something that it never been trained on. It's never seen it. So let's look at the results here. This is the second experiment. We put the ship on the test track. And the same model trained in the previous section was incorporated to investigate the capability of the model to generalize the maneuvering characteristic in unfamiliar settings using the test track. So we see here the successful autonomous maneuver is being achieved, and we have additional objects, which is weather buoys located on the U-turn, and we have sharp turns together with two boats. Okay, we have two boats here and one deck on the northeast of the training track. Here we see two zones. Zone 1 for the boats and deck obstacles. So this is zone 1 and this is zone 2. Zone 2 is the weather buoy obstacle. So we can see that two quick maneuver to the right were observed where the ANN is preventing the ASV from colliding with the boats, and also prevent to collide with the weather buoys by performing quick rudder turn to the negative angle. So the throttle and velocity values significantly drop each time aggressive maneuver is being conducted. And we see that the ship is very sensitive to obstacle. It tries to really avoid itself from hitting the obstacle. Now let's discuss about the human side of things. When we have autonomous ship versus human, let's look at how it behaves itself in a straight turn. So here on the top right, you can see this is a straight line maneuver. So you have a straight line, you have a straight tracks. As a human, you are going to use the throttle very slowly, and you almost don't change any of the angle. So on the red circles here, you can see that if you are a human, you're not going to change any steering angle if you are driving or piloting the boat in a straight line. However, for an autonomous boat, it tries to really keep its course. It tries to get the the sensor values actively control the ship to the state that you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be comfortable on the ship that robots is driving, so which is something that we don't want. So this is something that we can bring forward for the research to introduce a human comfort factor in autonomous driving. So for autonomous cars, we see Tesla, they already have that. But for a highly dynamic hydrodynamic, hydrostatics condition of a boat, this kind of control is very important because a boat will going to drift. So you don't want the boat to be very abruptly controlled. You need to be relaxed when you are on a boat. So this is something that needs to be improved in the future, probably for the future works that any of you will like to be interested to working on this. So here we see that autonomous system is too actively observing obstacle, therefore sacrificing human comfort. So to conclude this, okay, here we have presented the state-of-the-art review and also experimental analysis on the use of neuroevolutionary methods in ship design discipline, particularly within the scope of autonomous handling scenario. So you normally read about autonomous car. So today we are going to talk about the autonomous ship. Although autonomous vehicle has progressed rapidly for the land-based vehicle or cars, the research for self-driving in restricted waters for in river and also ports for boats still possess a significant gap, despite the economic and also safety impacts. In this work, the illustrative example has been presented using simplified ship model in a restricted water scenario, which is vertical riverbank, that reveals the preliminary neuroevolutionary model not only good for navigation for restricted waters, but also capable for obstacle avoidance within the proximity of the distance sensor. Using the end-to-end unsupervised reinforcement learning, the artificial neural network can predict the best terrain angle and also the throttle responses while avoiding collision with other floating objects and also the riverbanks. Additionally, we have discussed about the handling performance of the ship. We compared between human operator and also autonomous system. So we are looking at the future works, which is to consider the ergonomics part of the autonomous ship. So the comfort factor in ship handling within the ANN training to ensure that the ASV is not only capable of performing safe maneuver operation, but also comfortable handling for human passenger. So thank you so much to the conference. So PVJ-IS 2021 for hosting the session this morning. And feel free to contact me in the email here. So and welcome you to the Faculty of Ocean Engineering, Technology and Informatics in University Malaysia Terengganu, Malaysia. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Faisal, for such excellent presentation about development of autonomous vehicle controller via neuroevolutionary methods. Just for a reminder for all participants, if you have something to share or ask about the topic, don't forget to put it in the chat box, then we will discuss it later in the discussion session. I hope you don't mind to wait a little longer, sir. Or
sure, I can wait. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Faisal. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next speaker, we have Dr. Prantasi Harmi Cahyanti, SSC MT. Let me greet her first. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Prantasi. Assalamualaikum. Say hello, please.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. It's great to see you, Dr. Prantasi. Thank you for your attendance.
Yes.
And for your information, Dr. Prantasi is a lecturer in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. Her area of expertise are material science and engineering. She served her doctoral degree. She served her doctoral degree in 10 November Institute of Technology Surabaya. She works as Kelitbangan Quality Control Team of East Java Province from 2018 until 2022. She also as co-promoter doctoral students, University Sultan Zainal Abidin, Terengganu, Malaysia, starting March 2020 until graduation. Her research experience in 2021 entitled Teknologi Dasar Penyambungan Material Berbasis Polimer untuk memperoleh keunggulan unjuk kerjanya. And she has many achievements as the best presenter in seminar national event. And the recent achievement is the best presenter in the second seminar national ADPI, Mengabdi, Asosiasi Dosen Pengabdian kepada Masyarakat Indonesia. One of his publications is Simple Appropriate Technology for Clear Water Management in Sumbergedang Tourism Village, Pasuruan. So now, please welcome Dr. Prantasi Harmi Cahyanti SSE MT to deliver her presentation. Time is yours.
Thank you. Let me share my presentation. Okay. Sudah nampakkah? Can you see my presentation?
Yes,
hello,
Dr. Prantasi, yeah, we can see it.
Okay, can you see my presentation, Mbak?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the audience, especially for Pak Mujianto that's invite me to be speaker at this event, PVC, the second PVC. Okay. Today I presentation about my title, about my research or study, the basic technology of joining on material based on polymers. My name is Prantasi Harmi Cahyanti. Please call me Tasi from Department of Mechanical Engineering, University Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. Okay, there's a presentation outline. start from introduction until conclusion. Okay, when I talk about my research, maybe all the several other audience, we don't know where is the Sidoarjo city. Yes, when you click in Google Sidoarjo, I exactly you have to know about mud flow in Sidoarjo since 2006. So after now, 15 years later, start from 2006 until 21. This for first 2006, and now 2020. This is not human, this is statue. Please come to Sidoarjo city and get the look for mud flow in Sidoarjo. Many statue over there. Okay. And where is Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo? Maybe several audience not to know. Yes, Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, city of the part of the East Java. Yes, this is Sidoarjo in East Java. Surabaya is capital of East Java. And Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo have 3 campus. Campus 1 in Sidoarjo district, and campus 2 in Candi district, and campus 3 in Wonoayu. Okay, this is my campus. This is campus 1. Campus 1 have 3 faculty. Faculty of Legal and Social Business, Faculty of Psychology and Educational Sciences, and Faculty of Islamic Religion. All the department location in the campus 1, especially allow the faculty in the campus 2. This is campus 2, Faculty of Science and Technology. Yes, this is my department, Mechanical Engineering, and have another department, Informatic, Electric Engineering, Industrial, Agriculture, and Agrotechnology. And the Mechanical Engineering, we have 3 interest fields, material and manufacture, and energy conversion, and the last is computation or design, and include with the mechatronica. Okay, and the campus 3, we have Faculty of Health Science, and this is a research activity. Usually I call it my three research because like 3 this based on of all my research. Main course is subject with metallurgy first and second, and then material science and engineering, and then the metal science first and second. This is based on the interest field when the lecture on the students interest with the metallurgy or manufacturer interest. And my research before 2003 until 2038. This is my what maybe many people call the roadmap. Why Butasi choice until 2036? Because 2036, inshallah, I get 70 years old. Inshallah. And in the 2036, we can in Indonesia call technology reasoning level until 9. It means that the system really is tested through successful operation, inshallah. And now in the 2021, my research over there, yes, over there, and we research about the material, especially material based on polymer and based on polymer and based on metal, based on composite, something like that. And we want to application for the research. Okay, this is my research or my study that the government gave fund for my team. In 21, we get funding from government. It's name called PDUPT, penelitian dasar unggulan perguruan tinggi. Yes, about teknologi dasar penyambungan material berbasis polimer untuk memperoleh keunggulan unjuk kerjanya. This is a part of my research in penelitian dasar unggulan perguruan tinggi. Yes, current research or study, me and my colleague and my team and my students, the basic technology of joining on material based on polymer. Okay, why I chose that? As you know that when a metal crack or maybe broken, we can join it with welding, like the figure, or maybe the wall from concrete crack, we can join with the grouting epoxy resin. So I think how can we join with the material from the polymer based on polymer like this? Yes. Look at this, the polymer divide for thermoplastic polymer and thermoset polymer. This pipe for PVC pipe, and how can we join where the pipe is broken or is cracked? Okay, or maybe thermoset polymer from bakelite. How can we prepare of that? Or it is not polymer, but this is a composite, but based on polymer. Called is polymer metric composite. Polymer metric composite, like a hull of the boat ship. Maybe that Pak Ahmad. Yes, Pak Ahmad, hull for the boat ship that make from the composite polymer metric composite with fiber usually. How can we repair of them if the hull of the boat ship is broken or is cracked? Or maybe in the motorcycle. Yes, currently when we repair of polymetric composite, not to join, but we get a new hull or maybe a new shield of motorcycle, something like that. This is a background why I want to research about that. Okay, this is polymer. Maybe audience, if not from mechanical department, or maybe physics department, or maybe chemistry department, maybe do not know about what is polymer. Polymer is from the Greek language. Poly is many and mer is part. So it's a substance or material consisting of very large molecules or macromolecule. But maybe some people call the giant molecule because very, very large. Okay, composed of many repeating subunits. So like that, This is mer part, but we have large chains, so we call polymer. Okay, please, you say that built from the structure or element for carbon and hydrogen. This is polymer, and divide from thermoplastic polymer and thermoset polymer. Thermoplastic polymer are class of polymers that can soft and melt by the application of heat, and can be processed either in the heat soft state. And example for thermoplastic polymer is PVC or polyvinyl chloride, PE, polyethylene, or PP, polypropylene, and etc. So thermosetting polymer have the structure change more tight, more strong, compared with thermoplast polymer. This is a thermoset polymer, or some people call thermosetting or thermoset. Okay, what about polymer metric composite? This is different. The same, only the base on polymer, but the different structure, because the polymer metric composite building by combine two phase or more at call metric and reinforcement. So the function of reinforcement to be strong in the metric, and the example for the hull of the boat shape, something like that. It is called polymer metric composite. Okay, this is a scheme. I need the scheme of my material based on polymer, my result. My research. Divide or material of polymer and polymer metric composite. My research now, I'll do about the material based on polymer, material of polymer and polymer metric composite, and then divide of thermoplastic polymer and thermoset polymer, and how can we repair that if the material is break or is cracked, and we can try to repair of the material with join with the welding and with patching. Okay, but now in the presentation, I just presented about the thermoplastic polymer and welding and repair with the welding. Again, another even I can presentation with the polymer metric composite and the thermoset with the patching. And I invite the researcher, maybe like with my idea or my research, please join with my team, and we research about the material based on polymer. Okay, this is what I call flowchart. This is a flowchart for my research. Material thermoplastic that we get PVC, PP, polyvinyl chloride, polypropylene, and polyethylene. And the shape or the sample, we get the sheet shape and we get the pipe shape. And then we welding because the sheet shape and the pipe shape crack
Mohon maaf, suara tidak terdengar.
Hear, we can hear your voice.
Mic-nya termute kayaknya.
Check. Check. Hello. Excuse me, Dr. Frantasi. We cannot hear your voice. There is no sounds here. Ibu mohon maaf, suaranya tidak ada. Kami tidak bisa mendengar suara Ibu di sini. Ya, mohon maaf kepada seluruh peserta atas ketidaknyamanannya. Mungkin terjadi technical problem di sini. Suara Ibu nggak kedengeran. Iya, nggak ada suaranya.
Mohon maaf tidak ada suaranya nih, nggak kedengaran.
Hello, what about my voice?
Yes, we can hear your voice clearly. Okay, thank you, Dr. Frantasi. You may continue your presentation.
Okay, I continue my presentation. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, because Bu Mila said to me, called to me that my voice is not clear. Okay, I continue my presentation. What about the hot gas hand welding? Hot gas hand welding. There's a welding for the plastic. So let you say the result of welding with use hot gas hand welding. Okay, PVC can connect with three welding by electrode, PVC, P, and PP, and And PA not connect with PVC, and PP not connect with PVC. The reason same with the another welding, because PVC have a more higher than melting temperature than PA or PP. Okay, and the result of dye penetrant, it looked that the dye penetrant more better the first than the pipe shape. How can the bending result? Okay, the table of result of bending result, highest of the value highest of the bending result get from the PVC, polyvinyl chloride, with welding wire or electrode with PVC, the same. So the same material, PVC with the PVC. Get until 181.2 kilogram force per millimeter square. Okay. Next. Yes. Okay. And then we compare. We compare how many value of the bending stress when we compare with original material. It means that material not yet for crack or for broken. Look at that. For the bending strength, for the bending strength original, PP have a 181.37 and PP 175.06 and PVC until 205.23. What about the result when the material crack and last with and welding with the hot gas hand welding? We have get value only 181.2. So we have different value compared with the original. We have different until 11.7%. Okay, it means that when the material break or crack and welding with the hot gas hand welding, we have get bending strength, value of bending strength different until 11.7%. What about when original and compare with bending or compare with welding, acetylene oxy welding, we get or until 48.23% is very different value. Okay, why because we have to know that acetylene oxy welding usually welding only for only for metal, because we have a high melting temperature, usually for ferrous or maybe for steel, something like that. But you have to know that material of polymer usually only 200 degrees Celsius, so more large compared with metal, especially for steel or for ferrous. But when we join the material, we join polymer material with the hot gas hand welding, we don't have a large different percentage at about 11.7%. Okay. Okay, maybe we have to know how the image of the structure in the material polymer we can get with scanning electron microscope. We please look at this. This is a PVC with welding fire electrode PP. Okay, this is image for the surface of welding. Okay, this is result until magnified until 200 micrometer, And this is crack after bending test. Okay, we image with SAM. Look at that PVC and with an electrode wire PP, not what can I say, not more homogeneous, so not unity, I mean like this. So the strength of the bending not too strong, the value of the bending. And what this element, or what the element in the in the material, look at that, PVC welding with the wire electrode PP. This ADAX with ADAX, we can say the element. Okay, this is PVC. PVC is polyphenol chloride. So the chloride in this element is more high. Look at this. This is a carbon, oxygen automatically, and the chlor. Look at this. Chlor is until 56.43. This is a spectrum, or we can get with ADAX in the same scanning electron microscope. And another image, same. This is a PA, polyethylene original, and this is welding polyethylene with electrode wire welding PP, polypropylene. This is a result. And after bending test, look at this. Same image result of bending test, PA with welding wire electrode PP. Because this is a polyethylene, we don't have, or without chlor, like PVC. Okay, with ADAX, we want to know what the element in the PA when welding with the PP wire electrode. Yes, look at this, carbon, oxygen, and a little bit natrium. Okay. Yes. So the conclusion, what me and my team and my student study this is thermoplastic polymer of polypropylene and polyethylene types can be joined with welding wire electrode from polyethylene, PVC, and PP using acetylene oxy welding. But especially for the PVC type, it can only be connected with the same welding. So it means PVC can be connected with PVC welding via electrode. And using the welding hot gas hand welding, PVC type can be joined with welding via electrode of all types, PVC, PA, and PP. But PP and PA cannot be joined with PVC welding. They can be connected when welded using PP and PA welding wire electrode. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Frantasi, for a very insightful presentation to share about the basic technology of joining on material based on polymers. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the presentation from our speakers in the first day of international seminar. Now we are moving to the discussion session, and we have 15 minutes. And if you have any question, you may ask directly to the speakers. Is there any question for any speakers here? Please don't be shy to ask the question, or you may share something. All right. How? Is there any question? Let's discuss.
Can speaker ask to speak another speaker?
Yeah, you may. Sure.
Yes, I want to ask to Pak Ahmad, Prof. Dr. Ahmad from
Yeah,
Trengganu.
silakan.
Dr. Faisal.
Yes,
All
Dr.
right.
Yes, yes.
Faisal.
There is question from Dr. Prantasi.
Yeah, Pak Faisal, Dr. Faisal, can your research, what can your research, uh, can your research, I mean, to 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 think about how can the hull of the boat that you make is broken or something like that, because a wave or big wave and big wave what big wave big wave get the hull of the boat of ship. Can you
Yes, yes.
think of that? Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Uh-uh.
So when we talk about boats, or specifically high-speed boats, okay, the one that I've just presented this morning is concerning high-speed boats. There is a risk for cracks because
Risk, yes,
high-speed
risk,
boats
risk.
they can hit the river bank. Sometimes they need to operate on a very shallow river, so that can happen. So I think research on material science or material engineering is very important, as if we can combine it to the optimization. In 2008, 2011, my research was concerning the design of a high-speed craft, mostly for the resistance. However, during the proposal part, I've included the material arrangement. However, during that time, computational power is really not as advanced as now. So I limited my research to the performance of hydrostatics and also hydrodynamics. As far as the material is concerned, it's very important. We need to have that consideration of materials for the design of ship hull. Thank you, Ibu.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Once again, what kind of the material for the hull boat ship? I mean, base composite based on polymer with the fiber, something like that.
It can be a lot of. It can be wood or it can be fiberglass. Okay. Nowadays, people use aluminium and also carbon fiber.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Ibu.
Thank you, Dr. Prantasi, for the question, and thank you for Dr. Faisal for the explanation. I hope there is another question from another participants. Do you have another question, please?
MC, I would like to ask a questions
All right.
Dr. Ahmad Faisal.
Yes, please, please, Ali, please.
Please.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for this chance to me. I would like to ask because your presentation related to the simulation model.
Yes, yes.
The boat. That there are several. Is it possible to extend the research to detect the, for example, if we use this boat to collect the floating garbage in the river, is it possible to do that, sir? That's my question.
Right. Thank you so much, Ali. Ali is one of my PhD students. So I have lots of PhD students in Indonesia. So thank you, Ali, for the question. Yes. Recently, in my hometown in Klang, Selangor, we have a river that we call Sungai Klang. It's a Klang river. When I was a kid, that river is very, very polluted. So there are lots of rubbish there. And when I grew up, the river has become more and more cleaner because the efforts by the government and also the locals. And starting from, I think, 2018, they have deployed an autonomous barge to collect the trashes from the Sungai Klang, from the River Klang. So it works. What it did was every time when they collect the garbage, once the garbage is full, they will notify the people who operate that to take out or to clean up the barge. In one sense, we can see the potential that probably it can clear itself after the container is full. That's one of the potential to create autonomous barge. As far as the European is concerned, nowadays they are trying to do autonomous barge without human operators. That is for ship-to-ship transfer or for transferring objects throughout the river. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you for your answer.
All right. Thank you, Bapak Ali. Thank you for the explanation, Dr. Faisal. And I'm still waiting for another question from the audience. You may ask the question directly to Dr. Faisal or Dr. Prasanti. Anyone? No more question? All right. If there is no more questions, so I will close this session. So thank you for all great speakers for inspiring and informative presentation. Thank you to audience for very active participation. And moving right along, it's time for me to take the conclusion for what the speakers have presented just now. Mr. Adam emphasizes that future education has many changes because of this pandemic, but we can get some lesson from this. So we must be innovative and various. Their educational should nurture resilient mindset that value people and processes over classroom and devices. Educators need new skills and new knowledge to capitalize on new education priorities and means of delivery, and learning gaps will minimize disruption in students' educational journey. Dr. Faisal informed us about the state-of-the-art review and experimental analysis of the use neuroevolutionary methods in ship design discipline, particularly within the scope of autonomous handling scenarios. This model is not only good for navigation in restricted water, but also capable for avoiding obstacles within the proximity of the distance sensor. Meanwhile, Dr. Prantasi also informed us about her research about the basic technology of joining on material based on polymers. The result of research is that the thermoplastic polymers of PP and PA types can be joined with welding wire or electrode from PE, PVC, and PP. Meanwhile, by using welding, hot gas, hand welding PVC types can be joined with welding wire or electrode of all types. Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, now we're coming to the end session of the second Paris Panjava International Seminar on Computer Science, Engineering and Technology 2021. I hope you found the presentation on this conference are informative and helpful. And before we close this event, I would like to remind you that tomorrow we still have Paris Panjava International Seminar on Health, Economics, Social Science, and Humanities. So make sure you don't miss it because we have many professional speakers who are very expert in their field. And also, I would like to inform you that after this session, we will have parallel session by watching video presentation. So I remind you for all participants to make sure you have uploaded the video presentation to each participant YouTube account. Then put the video ID to the user account of the submission system. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for all great speakers who have delivered the interesting topic. Thank you for all participants, the hosts and co-hosts. We have been supporting this event. Please accept our apologize if there are some inconveniences. Thank you for participating in today's event. See you tomorrow. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Prantasi. Thank you, Dr. Faisal. Thank you, all audience. See you tomorrow.
Berkembang dengan sangat pesatnya, Sidoarjo menjadi kabupaten rujukan UMKM terbaik di Indonesia. Lalu lalang dan laju masyarakat tak pernah terhenti di sepanjang waktu, mulai dari lini ekonomi, transportasi, budaya, hingga pendidikan tinggi. Dari daerah urban penopang ibu kota provinsi terbesar kedua di Indonesia, Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo melahirkan para cendekiawan muda yang mandiri dan penuh inovasi. Berdiri sejak tahun 1984, berawal dari tergabungnya beberapa sekolah tinggi Muhammadiyah, UMSIDA berkomitmen menjadi perguruan tinggi yang unggul dan inovatif dalam pengembangan ilmu pengetahuan, teknologi, dan seni berdasarkan nilai-nilai Islam untuk kesejahteraan masyarakat. Dari komitmen itu, kami mengedepankan kreativitas dan terus meningkatkan hasanah keilmuan melalui pendidikan dan pengajaran. UMSIDA tak hanya sebagai tempat menuntut ilmu, namun juga tempat bertemunya ribuan cendekiawan dari seluruh Indonesia, bahkan dunia, untuk bertukar pikiran. Kami saling terhubung dengan berbagai perguruan tinggi dan institusi di dunia, mencetuskan gagasan melalui idealisme para akademisi. Semua itu kami dedikasikan untuk Indonesia, sejahtera dan berkemajuan yang berdaya saing global. Kami bahu-membahu menghasilkan ribuan produk unggulan melalui penelitian dan pengabdian. Dinamika kehidupan kampus ini membuat kami mengerti arti perjuangan.
UMSIDA akan menjadi perguruan tinggi unggul, inovatif dalam pengembangan ipteks berdasarkan nilai-nilai Islam untuk kesejahteraan masyarakat. Divisi 2038 ini, UMSIDA akan diantarkan untuk menjadi perguruan tinggi yang mendapatkan pengakuan di tingkat ASEAN recognition, yang itu meniscayakan ada banyak persiapan yang harus kita lakukan. Dalam tahap ini, 4 tahun pertama kita akan melakukan penguatan pada sisi tata kelola. Maka di situ kita akan memperkuat pendidikan dan pengajaran, penelitian, pengabdian masyarakat, dan sekaligus penguatan nilai-nilai al-Islam dan kemuhammadiyahan. Maka dalam kaitan ini, tugas kami adalah untuk menyiapkan sumber daya manusia, baik dosen maupun tenaga kependidikan, yang profesional, berkompeten di bidangnya, sehingga mereka semua bisa memberikan pelayanan terbaik bagi seluruh sivitas akademika, terutama para mahasiswa. Maka tahapan berikutnya kemudian kita ingin mempercepat capaian national recognition. Pengakuan di tingkat nasional ini yang ditandai dengan berbagai capaian nanti. Secara institusi kita akan mengarahkan UMSIDA ini terakreditasi unggul, disusul dengan capaian-capaian yang lain sehingga pada saatnya nanti kita siap untuk bersanding, berkompetisi dengan berbagai perguruan tinggi besar di Indonesia ini. Mudah-mudahan kita semua punya semangat yang sama di dalam mencapai visi besar UMSIDA 2038 nanti, sehingga kita bersama akan menyaksikan kehadiran UMSIDA mendapat pengakuan bukan hanya pada sisi kelembagaan, tapi dosen, tenaga kependidikan, sistem pembelajaran, kultur akademik yang terbangun di UMSIDA ini itu sejajar dengan berbagai perguruan tinggi besar di tingkat ASEAN.
Berbekal nilai-nilai Islam, berserah diri pada Sang Pemilik kehidupan, kami yakin untuk melangkah, melihat ke depan, dunia ada di dalam genggaman. Dari sini perjalananmu dimulai, dari sini pencerahan bersemi. Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo.
Fakultas Agama Islam berdiri pada tahun 1991. Pada mulanya Fakultas Agama Islam bernama Fakultas Tarbiyah yang bekerja sama dengan Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya. Keberadaan Fakultas Agama Islam di wilayah Gresik ini sangat strategis. Oleh karena itu, Fakultas Agama Islam Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik tidak dapat dinafikan keberadaannya. Karena dengan keseimbangan kecerdasan intelektual dan kecerdasan moral, sebuah peradaban berkemajuan akan terbentuk sempurna untuk mencapai tujuan kebahagiaan di dunia dan di akhirat. Fakultas Agama Islam merupakan ikon Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik sebagai salah satu amal usaha Muhammadiyah yang bernafaskan al-Islam dan kemuhammadiyaan, karena Fakultas Agama Islam di Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik bertujuan menghasilkan pribadi yang unggul dan mandiri, disiapkan dalam menghadapi tantangan dakwah multikultural baik di tingkat nasional dan internasional, sehingga terwujud masyarakat Islam yang sebenar-benarnya dalam melaksanakan fungsi dan misi manusia sebagai hamba dan khalifah Allah di muka bumi. Gresik merupakan salah satu kota yang terkenal dengan daerah industri. namun masih mempunyai daerah pertanian yang cukup luas untuk berkontribusi mendorong kemandirian pangan. Fakultas Pertanian Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik didirikan pada tahun 1990 berdasarkan surat keputusan Menteri Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan Republik Indonesia pada tanggal 18 Agustus 1990. Keberadaan Fakultas Pertanian di Gresik didasari kebutuhan sumber daya manusia yang handal di bidang pertanian dan perikanan. SDM lulusan Faperta UMG diharapkan mempercepat terwujudnya lumbung-lumbung pangan di Indonesia, terlibat dalam agribisnis dari hulu hingga hilir. Program studi ditawarkan saat ini adalah agroteknologi dan budidaya perikanan yang akan membekali lulusannya lulus tepat waktu, unggul, mandiri, dan berjiwa entrepreneur Islami. Lulusan Faperta UMG, mandiri, dan siap hidup sebagai entrepreneur muda. Untuk membekali lulusannya, Fakultas Pertanian melibatkan mahasiswa dalam riset-riset unggulan di bidang tanaman pangan, khususnya ikan asli perairan Gresik. Metode pembelajaran bersifat interaktif, Student Center Learning atau SCL, dan e-learning. Untuk membangun jiwa entrepreneur, mahasiswa dilibatkan dalam inkubator bisnis dan pelatihan-pelatihan atau internship untuk mengasah soft skill mereka di dalam dan di luar negeri. Untuk itu, Faperta didukung oleh lab indoor seperti kultur jaringan, glasshouse, lab teknologi benih dan pemulihan tanaman, serta lab outdoor berupa kebun percobaan 10 hektar.
Sejak abad ke-11, Gresik menjadi pusat perdagangan dan kota bandar yang dikunjungi oleh banyak bangsa seperti Cina, Arab, Campa, dan Kujar.
Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya adalah universitas swasta yang terletak di Kalimantan Tengah, tepatnya di kota Palangkaraya. Kota ini dikenal sebagai kota wisata komunitas dan juga sangat terkenal dengan hutan hujan tropisnya. Baru-baru ini, pemerintah juga memiliki wacana untuk menjadikan kota Palangkaraya sebagai ibu kota pemerintahan karena letaknya yang sangat strategis. Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya berdiri pada tahun 1987 dengan visi unggul dalam ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi yang berlandaskan iman dan takwa. Sebagai bentuk komitmen untuk menjaga keseimbangan lingkungan, UMP mengusung konsep Green Islamic Campus. Konsep ini merupakan konsep nyata untuk memperbaiki iklim di Indonesia dan juga dunia.
Sampai saat ini, Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya masih mengusung konsep The Green Islamic Campus. Konsep yang sangat penting untuk menjaga stabilitas suhu di Indonesia dan juga dunia. Sebagai aksi nyata, Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya sampai saat ini juga membuka hutan pendidikan, mengurangi penggunaan kertas dan plastik, serta menerapkan larangan merokok di lingkungan Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya.
Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya berasal dari berbagai daerah dan juga mancanegara. Mereka menempuh studi di diploma dan sarjana strata 1 serta program pasca sarjana di 7 fakultas dengan 17 program studi, yaitu Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik dengan program studi S1 Ilmu Administrasi Negara dan S1 Ilmu Komunikasi. Fakultas Pertanian dan Kehutanan dengan program studi S1 Agroteknologi dan S1 Kehutanan. Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan dengan program studi S1 PGSD, S1 Bimbingan dan Konseling, S1 Pendidikan Ekonomi, dan S1 Pendidikan Teknik Informatika. Fakultas Teknik dengan program studi S1 Teknik Sipil, S1 Teknik Lingkungan, serta S1 Ilmu Komputer. Fakultas Agama Islam dengan program studi S1 Al-Akhwal As-Syaksiyah atau Hukum Keluarga, S1 Pendidikan Agama Islam, dan S1 Pendidikan Guru Madrasah Ibtidaiyah. Fakultas Ilmu Kesehatan dengan program studi D3 Farmasi dan D3 Analis Kesehatan. Direktorat Pasca Sarjana dengan program studi S2 Magister Administrasi Publik. Hingga saat ini, Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya telah memiliki pengakuan dari berbagai pihak, diantaranya akreditasi institusi dengan nilai B dari BANPT, kampus bebas narkoba dari BNN Republik Indonesia, Green Award dari USAID Indonesia Forest and Climate Support, kampus terbersih, terapi, dan terindah di lingkungan PTS se-Kalimantan Tengah dari Koperti 11. Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya juga mendapatkan 15 Haki Kemenkumham Republik Indonesia dari Koperti 11 dan penghargaan-penghargaan lainnya. Untuk meningkatkan mutu pendidikan mahasiswa dan mahasiswinya, UMP menghadirkan dosen-dosen terbaik lulusan dalam negeri maupun luar negeri. Salah satunya adalah dosen lulusan S3 University of South Australia, magister di Al-Azhar, dosen berprestasi yang meraih hak kekayaan intelektual, dan dosen terbaik lainnya. Mahasiswa UM Palangkaraya juga telah meraih banyak prestasi di bidang akademik maupun non-akademik, baik tingkat nasional maupun internasional, seperti juara 2 pemilihan mahasiswa berprestasi di tingkat LL Dikti Wilayah 11 Kalimantan, Delegasi Kalimantan Tengah dalam Festival Pemuda 2018, Indonesian Youth Teacher Exchange Program, Kapal Pemuda Nusantara, Pekan Olahraga Provinsi Kalimantan Tengah, Kompetisi Debat Mahasiswa Berbahasa Indonesia, Delegasi Indonesia dalam Our Ocean Conference yang diselenggarakan oleh Sustainable Ocean Alliance, dan prestasi-prestasi bergengsi lainnya. Mahasiswa-mahasiswi yang memiliki prestasi di bidang akademik maupun non-akademik bisa memiliki kesempatan untuk mengikuti program-program internasional yang diselenggarakan oleh kampus dan pihak yang melakukan kerjasama dengan UMP. Salah satunya adalah program double degree di Kyongdong University Korea Selatan, KKN dan PPL luar negeri seperti di Thailand dan Malaysia. Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya juga banyak menyediakan beasiswa, salah satunya beasiswa BPPA Kemenrisdikti, PBBM Kemenrisdikti, Bank-bank rekanan Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya, beasiswa dari pemerintah kota, serta beasiswa bidik misi. Penerimaan beasiswa dilakukan dengan berbagai tahap seleksi khusus dengan beberapa kriteria yang ditentukan oleh universitas. Fasilitas penunjang pembelajaran di UMP sangat representatif seperti perpustakaan, laboratorium, masjid, asrama mahasiswa lokal maupun internasional, ruangan terbuka dengan fasilitas free wifi, ruang teknologi, ruang sekretariat UKM dan Ormawa, gedung pertemuan, kantin, hutan pendidikan, dan sarana olahraga. Tingginya semangat untuk meningkatkan kualitas kampus, UMP aktif mendorong berbagai elemen kampus untuk melakukan kerjasama di tingkat nasional dan juga internasional.
Highlight UMP.
Mari bergabung bersama kami, Universitas Muhammadiyah Palangkaraya,